China has launched an unprecedented mission to retrieve samples from the far side of the moon.
For centuries, the moon has captivated humanity, symbolizing both mystery and ambition. However, China's latest mission has unearthed something that could fundamentally alter our understanding of Earth's celestial neighbor. In an unprecedented achievement, China has successfully retrieved samples from the far side of the moon, a region untouched by human exploration. But what they discovered has sent shockwaves through both the scientific community and the world's leading superpowers. This mission is no longer just about space exploration, its implications are profound and far-reaching. The revelation is so groundbreaking and unexpected that it challenges our fundamental knowledge of the moon and its history. Could this discovery shift global power dynamics? What secrets hidden within the lunar surface have now come to light? Stay with us, because what China has found has the potential to rewrite history as we know it. Over the past 2 decades, China's space program has experienced an extraordinary transformation, evolving from a latecomer in the space race to a formidable global leader. What started with the launch of the country's first astronauts has rapidly advanced into a space program capable of constructing a state-of-the-art space station and undertaking some of the most ambitious lunar missions in history. However, among all of China's achievements, nothing has garnered as much global attention as its ambitious plans for lunar exploration. At the heart of these endeavors lies the Chang'e program, named after the legendary Chinese moon goddess. Each mission under this initiative has showcased China's growing expertise in space exploration. In 2019, the Chang'e 4 mission accomplished something unprecedented. It became the first spacecraft to land on the far side of the moon, an achievement that no other space agency had managed before. This historic milestone positioned China at the forefront of lunar exploration. The following year, Chang'e 5 successfully brought lunar samples back to Earth, marking the first time in over 4 decades that such a feat had been accomplished. With Chang'e 7 and Chang'e 8 on the horizon, China is setting its sights on an even more ambitious goal, a permanent lunar base by the 2030s. This initiative extends beyond national pride. It represents a pivotal step toward establishing a sustained human presence on the moon, solidifying China's position as a key player in shaping humanity's future in space. Then came the latest, game-changing discovery, one with the potential to transform our understanding of the moon and even redefine planetary science itself. As a follow-up to the revolutionary Chang'e 5 mission, China's Chang'e 6 was deployed to explore the moon's south pole, a region long believed to hold significant scientific value due to its suspected water ice reserves. Unlike its predecessors, this mission was equipped with cutting-edge robotic instruments capable of conducting highly precise analyses of the lunar surface. However, what Chinese scientists uncovered went far beyond expectations. Beneath the moon's south pole, the mission identified evidence of a previously unknown mineral composition. This newly discovered material, provisionally named Chang'e 8, possesses unique properties that could reshape our understanding of both lunar history and planetary formation. If verified, this mineral could provide crucial insights into the moon's evolution over billions of years. But that wasn't the most astonishing revelation. Alongside this mineral discovery, Chang'e 6 detected anomalies in the moon's magnetic field, findings that directly challenge the long-standing belief that the moon is a geologically inactive world. Instead, the data suggests that the moon may have once been far more dynamic than previously assumed. These discoveries raise profound questions. Did the moon once have a magnetic core, similar to Earth? Could these findings indicate previous volcanic or tectonic activity that shaped the lunar surface in ways we never anticipated? And perhaps most intriguingly, could these anomalies provide crucial clues about the conditions necessary for life beyond Earth? The implications of these revelations are staggering. If confirmed, these discoveries could fundamentally alter our understanding of how the moon formed and offer valuable insights into the early solar system. This breakthrough could hold the key to unlocking deeper knowledge about planetary evolution, not just for our own moon, but for exoplanets and moons beyond our solar system. As China continues its ambitious lunar program, the rest of the world watches closely. Could these findings pave the way for harnessing lunar resources to sustain future space missions? Or do they hint at something even more profound, something we have yet to fully comprehend? While the Chang'e 6 mission has already made headlines with its discovery of a new lunar mineral, that was not the only groundbreaking revelation. The mission has also uncovered the most compelling evidence yet of water ice on the Moon's south pole, a discovery that could revolutionize the future of space exploration. Utilizing advanced spectrometers, the Chang'e 6 probe identified regions with high hydrogen concentrations, one of the most reliable indicators of water ice deposits. For years, scientists have speculated that water ice may exist in permanently shadowed lunar craters, but China's latest findings provide the strongest confirmation yet that these icy reserves are real and potentially far more abundant than previously assumed. The presence of water ice on the Moon is more than just a scientific curiosity, it is a game-changer for space travel. Access to water would mean that future lunar missions would not have to transport vast amounts of water from Earth, drastically reducing costs and logistical challenges. More significantly, water can be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen, the fundamental components of rocket fuel. This means the Moon could one day serve as a refueling station for deep space missions, making human exploration of Mars and beyond significantly more feasible. However, China's findings extend beyond the potential for fuel and water supplies. The confirmation of water ice strengthens the case for a permanent lunar settlement, a crucial stepping stone toward humanity's expansion into the solar system. Until now, the greatest obstacle to establishing a long-term lunar presence has been sustainability. Bringing essential resources from Earth is both costly and impractical. But if water ice is truly abundant on the Moon, it could support life-sustaining infrastructure, making a lunar base not just possible, but inevitable. The global space race is entering a new era, and China is positioning itself at the forefront of this transformation. As nations across the world react to these discoveries, one question remains: will this newfound knowledge accelerate humanity's journey toward a future among the stars, or will it trigger a new space race, with global superpowers competing for dominance beyond Earth's atmosphere? One thing is certain: history is being rewritten, and the next chapter of space exploration has only just begun. The possibility of astronauts extracting water directly from the Moon transforms the vision of a self-sustaining lunar colony from a distant dream into a realistic goal. China has already declared its ambitious plan to establish a permanent Moon base by the 2030s, and this groundbreaking discovery significantly enhances the feasibility of that objective. The upcoming Chang'e 7 and Chang'e 8 missions, scheduled for later this decade, are expected to deepen exploration efforts and develop the necessary infrastructure for a lunar settlement. These advancements further cement China's dominance in the next phase of space colonization. However, the United States is closely monitoring these rapid developments, and it is not sitting idly by. China's swift progress in lunar exploration has not gone unnoticed by the United States. NASA has been planning its own return to the Moon through the Artemis program, aiming to land astronauts on the lunar surface by the mid-2020s and eventually establish a long-term human presence. However, China's recent discoveries have injected a newfound urgency into these plans. For years, NASA's Artemis program was perceived as the front-runner in the renewed race to the Moon. However, China's major scientific breakthroughs and its methodical steps toward building a lunar base have prompted the US to reassess its strategy. The Moon is increasingly being seen as a critical asset, not only for scientific research but also for geopolitical influence. The potential for extracting water ice, helium-3, and valuable rare earth metals has elevated the Moon to a strategic priority, fueling economic and technological competition. With China making swift advancements in lunar resource exploration, US officials are concerned that America's leadership in space could be at risk. This growing concern has sparked discussions about a possible lunar land rush. Although international treaties such as the 1967 Outer Space Treaty explicitly prohibit any nation from claiming territory on the Moon, there remains ambiguity regarding resource extraction. While no country can own the Moon, there are no clear regulations preventing nations from mining and utilizing its resources. This legal gray area has raised fears that China's rapid progress could grant it an unofficial claim over key lunar regions. In response, US policymakers and space agencies are advocating for stronger international agreements to ensure that the Moon remains accessible to all nations. Some analysts speculate that China could seek to establish dominance over the resource-rich South Pole, potentially making it more difficult for other nations to conduct their own lunar operations. To counteract this possibility, NASA and its allies are actively exploring ways to expedite Artemis missions, particularly by strengthening partnerships with private space companies such as SpaceX and Blue Origin. These collaborations are expected to accelerate lunar development, potentially restoring the United States' competitive edge against China. However, this competition extends beyond scientific and economic considerations. It has far-reaching implications for global power dynamics. The moon has long been more than just an object of scientific curiosity. Throughout history, it has served as a powerful symbol of dominance in space exploration. During the Cold War, the intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union was not merely about reaching the moon first, it was about demonstrating technological supremacy, national pride, and global influence. Today, a new space race is unfolding, but this time, the competition is between the United States and China. Unlike the Cold War era, when simply planting a flag on the moon was the primary goal, today's stakes are significantly higher. The critical question is no longer about who arrives first, but rather who will control the moon's resources and establish the most advanced infrastructure. China's recent discoveries have intensified tensions between the two superpowers, as both nations recognize that leadership in space could translate into broader dominance in areas such as defense, technological innovation, and economic power. The moon is no longer just a stepping stone to Mars, it is increasingly viewed as a foundation for global influence. This emerging rivalry has already prompted stronger alliances among the US and its international partners. NASA has spearheaded the Artemis Accords, an initiative aimed at fostering transparent and cooperative space exploration. These agreements encourage international collaboration, ensuring that lunar exploration and resource utilization remain open to all nations. Over 30 countries have already signed the Artemis Accords, signaling a collective commitment to shared space development. Simultaneously, discussions within the US government are focusing on enhancing national security in space, particularly through the US Space Force. While the concept of military conflict beyond Earth may seem like science fiction, the reality is that space is becoming an increasingly critical domain for national defense. Satellites, lunar infrastructure, and space-based communications could all be potential targets in future geopolitical disputes. Within the global scientific community, China's recent lunar discoveries have sparked a mix of enthusiasm and controversy. Researchers across the world are eager to analyze the data and assess its implications, particularly regarding the newly identified Chang'e mineral and the confirmed presence of water ice at the moon's south pole. These findings have opened new frontiers for research in planetary geology, mineral composition, and even astrobiology, challenging long-held theories about the moon's formation and evolution. However, concerns are growing regarding access to this groundbreaking information. Historically, China has maintained strict control over its space research, often restricting external access to raw data from its lunar missions. This lack of transparency has caused frustration within the global scientific community, with many experts urging China to embrace greater openness and collaboration. Shared data could accelerate scientific progress, enabling researchers from NASA, the European Space Agency, ESA, and other organizations to contribute to a more comprehensive understanding of the moon's geological history. At the same time, some scientists caution against drawing premature conclusions from the findings. While the discoveries are undoubtedly significant, they emphasize the importance of rigorous analysis and peer-reviewed validation. The scientific method demands careful scrutiny, and it will take time to fully interpret the mineral composition of Chang'e and its broader implications. History has shown that early interpretations of space-related discoveries often evolve or change as more data becomes available. Despite these uncertainties, China's latest achievement serves as a wake-up call for the global space community. The discoveries made through the Chang'e program not only push the boundaries of planetary science but also reshape the dynamics of space exploration. As humanity prepares for a future where lunar colonization, resource extraction, and deep space travel become realities, the competition between China and the United States is set to define the next era of exploration. The question remains, will the future of the moon be one of collaboration, or will it become a battleground for geopolitical influence? One thing is certain, what happens next in the race for lunar dominance will shape the course of space exploration for generations to come. The ongoing competition to explore the moon is accelerating at an unprecedented pace, with both scientific discovery and economic opportunities reaching new levels of significance. China's recent breakthrough highlights how much remains unknown about the moon. Despite extensive exploration by NASA, the Soviet Union, and other space agencies over the decades. Many of the moon's mysteries remain unsolved, and as more nations turn their focus toward lunar exploration, humanity is stepping into a new era of space discovery. This era holds the potential to unravel profound insights into the formation of our solar system, planetary evolution, and even the origins of life itself. For humanity, the moon is more than just another celestial body, it represents a critical stepping stone for future deep space exploration. Serving as a testbed for advanced space technologies, it could pave the way for missions to Mars and beyond. Establishing a permanent lunar base would allow astronauts to experiment with in-situ resource utilization, ISRU, meaning they could extract and utilize lunar materials, such as water ice, to produce drinking water, oxygen, and even rocket fuel. This approach would drastically lower the cost of deep space missions, making space travel more sustainable in the long run. However, lunar exploration is influenced not only by scientific ambition but also by technical constraints and geopolitical rivalries. China's latest findings serve as a reminder that the global race for the moon is far from over. As more countries advance their lunar programs, the competition for resources, prime landing sites, and strategic positioning is intensifying. The moon is becoming a central player in the next phase of human space exploration, and the discoveries made there will shape the course of space travel for generations to come. Yet, beyond the realm of science, there is an even more urgent matter at stake: the moon's immense economic potential. China's recent discovery is not solely driven by scientific curiosity, it also carries major economic implications. The moon is home to some of the most valuable resources of the 21st century, and China appears to be strategically positioning itself to control access to them. These resources include rare earth metals, helium-3, and water ice, all of which could power future industries and significantly alter the global economic landscape. One of the most sought-after lunar resources is helium-3, a rare isotope that has the potential to revolutionize energy production. Unlike traditional nuclear fission, which generates hazardous waste, helium-3 could be used in nuclear fusion reactors, offering a clean and virtually limitless energy source. It is estimated that a single ton of helium-3 could supply enough power for an entire country for a year. Scientists believe that after billions of years of exposure to solar wind, the moon's surface contains vast reserves of helium-3 embedded in its regolith. China's increasing presence on the moon suggests that it may be laying the groundwork for mining this valuable resource, potentially securing a dominant position in a future energy revolution. If helium-3 fusion technology becomes viable, China could gain an enormous economic and geopolitical advantage, monopolizing a fuel source that is scarcely found on Earth. However, helium-3 is just one part of a much larger equation. The moon is also rich in rare earth metals, which are essential for manufacturing advanced electronics, batteries, and high-tech materials. Currently, China controls 90% of the world's rare earth production, already giving it significant influence over global supply chains. If China expands its control to lunar mining operations, it could further cement its dominance over critical high-tech industries, leaving other nations increasingly reliant on Chinese-controlled resources. Another invaluable lunar resource is water ice, which has enormous implications for long-term space exploration. Water is essential for human survival, but it can also be split into hydrogen and oxygen, the primary components of rocket fuel. If China successfully establishes a fuel depot on the moon, it would gain a significant advantage in interplanetary travel, enabling cheaper and more efficient missions to Mars and beyond. The moon has long been more than just a scientific frontier, it has also been a strategic battleground for global influence. During the Cold War, the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union symbolized a broader contest for technological supremacy, national prestige, and geopolitical power. Today, a similar competition is unfolding between the United States and China, but the stakes have evolved. Unlike in the 1960s, when the objective was simply to plant a flag on the lunar surface, the modern race is about controlling the moon's resources and establishing long-term dominance in space. The nation that leads in lunar exploration will not only shape the rules of space commerce but also control access to key mining sites and gain substantial economic and strategic leverage. With China expanding its operations on the moon, the United States and its allies are scrambling to respond. NASA's Artemis program, which aims to land astronauts on the moon by the mid-2020s, is now being fast-tracked in an effort to counterbalance China's growing influence. As part of its strategy, the US has spearheaded the Artemis Accords, an international agreement designed to promote peaceful and cooperative lunar exploration. The accords serve as a diplomatic tool to foster alliances in space, ensuring that no single country monopolizes access to lunar resources. However, concerns about a potential lunar land grab are mounting. While the 1967 Outer Space Treaty explicitly prohibits any nation from claiming ownership of lunar territory, it does not provide clear guidelines for the extraction and use of lunar resources. This legal ambiguity has raised fears that China, or any other ambitious spacefaring nation, could establish de facto control over key lunar regions simply by being the first to set up operations. China's increasing presence on the moon is about more than scientific exploration. It represents a broader effort to secure economic and strategic dominance. If China successfully gains control over lunar resources, it could reshape global energy markets and significantly shift the balance of power in its favor. Recognizing this, the United States, Europe, and other spacefaring nations are intensifying their efforts to remain competitive in this new space race. The result? A growing sense of urgency as the competition for lunar dominance heats up. But unlike the space race of the Cold War era, this modern contest is not just about national pride or technological milestones. It is about shaping the future of space commerce, securing economic advantages, and establishing strategic influence beyond Earth. The moon is no longer just a symbol of human achievement, it is the gateway to a new era of global power dynamics in space. Unlike the Apollo-era space race, where the primary objective was simply to be the first to land on the moon, the stakes have now shifted toward control over its vast, untapped wealth. China is rapidly advancing its mission to establish the first permanent lunar base, a move that would give it a crucial advantage in extracting and utilizing vital resources. If successful, this endeavor could enable China to dominate a key aspect of humanity's future in space, gaining economic and strategic leverage that would be challenging for other nations to counteract. To grasp the full magnitude of what is at risk, one must consider the potential economic impact of the moon. Some experts anticipate that the lunar economy could be worth trillions of dollars in the coming decades, making it one of the most valuable frontiers in human history. However, the moon's significance extends beyond resource extraction. It represents the foundation of a new economic ecosystem in space. The establishment of permanent habitats, power stations, and transportation networks could serve as the backbone of human expansion beyond Earth. These advancements would drive innovation in technology, energy, and infrastructure, leading to the emergence of industries that are currently beyond imagination. One of the most transformative possibilities is space-based manufacturing. At present, launching satellites, telescopes, and large structures from Earth is prohibitively expensive due to the constraints of gravity and fuel costs. If China, or any other nation, successfully develops manufacturing hubs on the moon, it would eliminate the need for costly Earth-based launches, drastically reducing expenses and unlocking new opportunities for exploration and commercial development. Envision a future where solar power stations are built in space, harnessing energy directly from the sun and transmitting it back to Earth, or where massive space stations and Mars-bound spacecraft are assembled on the moon without the need for terrestrial launches. These once fictional concepts are now within reach, and China is strategically positioning itself to lead this transformation. Adding to the moon's economic appeal is China's recent discovery of Chang'e, a mineral with properties unlike anything found on Earth. If this newly identified mineral proves to have unique industrial or scientific applications, it could further reinforce China's dominance in space exploration. Whether it becomes an essential resource for future industries or remains a scientific curiosity, its discovery adds another dimension to the moon's immense economic potential. A permanent lunar base is not just about establishing a foothold on the moon, it is about preparing for the next steps in space exploration. If humanity aims to expand deeper into the solar system, the moon could serve as a pivotal launch point for interplanetary travel. One of the biggest obstacles in space travel is overcoming Earth's gravity, which requires vast amounts of fuel for spacecraft to break free from the planet's gravitational pull. The moon, with its significantly lower gravity, offers a more efficient alternative. Launching spacecraft from a lunar base would require far less fuel and energy, drastically cutting the costs of missions to Mars, the asteroid belt, and beyond, making deep space exploration more practical than ever. Should China succeed in constructing the first refueling station on the Moon, it would grant them a strategic edge unparalleled in the history of space exploration. They could control access to critical resources, determine refueling logistics, and shape the regulations governing space travel beyond Earth's orbit. The Moon would no longer be just a celestial body, it would become the gateway to humanity's expansion into the cosmos, with China striving to be the gatekeeper of that future. China's concentrated efforts on the Moon's south pole are not coincidental. Scientists believe that this region is among the most resource-rich areas of the lunar surface, making it the prime location for establishing a long-term base. The most valuable asset? Water ice. For years, researchers have theorized that the permanently shadowed craters of the Moon's south pole hold significant deposits of frozen water. Recent findings, including China's latest discovery, suggest that these reserves are far more extensive than previously estimated. But why is water ice so crucial? Because it represents far more than just a source of hydration, it is the key to sustainable space exploration. Water ice can be converted into hydrogen and oxygen, providing both drinking water and breathable air for astronauts. More importantly, these elements can be used to produce rocket fuel, enabling spacecraft to refuel on the Moon instead of carrying massive fuel reserves from Earth. The implications for space travel are profound. With the ability to refuel on the Moon, missions to Mars, the outer planets, and even deep space expeditions become significantly more viable. Rather than launching fully fueled from Earth, spacecraft could take off with minimal fuel, travel to the Moon, refuel, and then embark on their journeys to distant destinations. This concept, known as in situ resource utilization (ISRU), has the potential to transform the Moon into the ultimate fueling station for interplanetary travel. Whoever secures control over the South Pole will gain access to the most valuable resource in space exploration, positioning themselves as the dominant force in the next era of space travel. Recognizing this, other nations are racing to establish a foothold in the South Pole region. NASA's Artemis program aims to develop a base camp in this area by the end of the decade, ensuring the United States has a stake in the lunar economy. Simultaneously, the European Space Agency, ESA, and private entities like SpaceX are also targeting this region, acknowledging its pivotal role in future exploration. However, with China leading the charge, their recent confirmation of vast water ice reserves has dramatically shifted the landscape. If they succeed in establishing a permanent presence first, they could effectively dictate access to these critical resources, securing a monopoly on lunar fuel production. China's discovery of substantial lunar resources has validated the strategic importance of the Moon's south pole and escalated the international competition for dominance in space. The geopolitical and economic ramifications of this race extend far beyond scientific exploration. Whoever commands the Moon's resources will not only reshape global energy markets but will also influence the trajectory of human expansion into space for generations to come. The question now is not just who will reach the Moon next, but who will define its future. If China establishes a stronghold in this critical lunar region, it could gain a significant economic and strategic upper hand, potentially reshaping global power dynamics. The stakes have never been higher. While national space agencies are leading the charge, private enterprises are increasingly emerging as major players in this evolving competition. Although much attention has been focused on government-led initiatives, private companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Astrobotic are redefining the way we reach and utilize the Moon. SpaceX's Starship, designed to transport both humans and cargo to the Moon and beyond, has the potential to make lunar travel more cost-effective and efficient. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin has set its sights on lunar exploration through the development of its lunar lander, Blue Moon. Additionally, Astrobotic, a company based in Pittsburgh, is actively working on delivering payloads to the Moon for NASA and commercial clients. These companies are not merely collaborators in national space programs, they are also competitors, viewing the Moon as a new frontier for commercial exploitation. Whether through mining lunar resources or constructing permanent space infrastructure, these private enterprises are positioning themselves to capitalize on the next phase of human expansion into space. However, their growing involvement adds complexity to the space race, raising important legal and ethical concerns about the future of lunar exploration. While the prospect of a new space era is thrilling, it also brings forth significant ethical questions. Who has the authority to determine how lunar resources are utilized? Should governments and private entities be allowed to profit from the moon, or should it be protected as a shared treasure of humanity? The 1967 Outer Space Treaty, ratified by more than 100 nations, asserts that the moon and other celestial bodies are the collective heritage of all humankind. It prohibits any country from claiming sovereignty over the moon and mandates that space exploration should serve the benefit of all people. However, the treaty remains ambiguous on crucial matters such as resource extraction and private ownership. Without well-defined regulations, the moon could devolve into a lawless environment, where countries and corporations compete independently to secure their interests, potentially fostering rivalry instead of cooperation. Beyond legal uncertainties, there is also the issue of environmental impact. Though the moon appears desolate and devoid of life, it is still a delicate and distinctive environment. Extensive mining activities could alter its surface composition, possibly releasing hazardous dust particles that might pose risks to future missions and even Earth's atmosphere. As humanity pushes further into space, it is imperative to strike a balance between ambition and responsibility. The decisions made today will set precedents that could shape the future of space exploration for generations to come. Beyond its immense economic and strategic value, the moon remains a rich source of scientific intrigue. Recent discoveries by China have reinforced just how much we have yet to learn about our nearest celestial neighbor. For example, irregularities in the moon's magnetic field suggest that it may have once possessed a magnetic dynamo, something previously thought to exist only in larger planets like Earth. This revelation raises fundamental questions about the moon's formation and its geological evolution over billions of years. Another major scientific breakthrough is the discovery of Chang'e, a mineral with unusual properties. By analyzing this mineral, researchers hope to uncover new insights into lunar geology, deepening our understanding of the processes that have shaped the moon's surface and its historical connection to Earth. Water ice on the moon also presents an intriguing puzzle. How did it get there? Was it delivered by ancient comets and asteroids, or did it form through chemical interactions on the lunar surface? Studying the distribution and composition of lunar water could unlock crucial knowledge about the moon's past climate and its potential to support future human settlements. These questions are not just theoretical, they have direct implications for future space exploration. Gaining a deeper understanding of the moon's history and resources is essential to establishing a long-term presence there and leveraging its position as a gateway to deeper space. As humanity embarks on this new era of space exploration, a critical question remains: should lunar development be a collective global effort, or will competition between nations and private companies shape the next chapter of space expansion? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations into the future of space exploration.